Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that knows kindness is the real punk rock, but also talking into microphones about comic book movies is also punk rock.
It's the most punk rock. Well, no, kindness is the most punk rock, but
it's
close second.
It's close second.
That's right. I'm Sam.
And I'm Cody.
And thank you all for tuning in this week. We have a great show for you this week. We're going to be talking about Superman for a bit. We're going to try to keep it, what do we say, Spoiler-Lite?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been out for a couple of weeks, but this movie's good enough that you don't want to get spoiled on it. We might get into a deeper one next week when Josh is here, but we're going to keep it spoiler-lite, but we're going to talk about it. We got some other news, and we actually have some voicemails, corrections, and messages that have come into the show like a month and a half ago. So we're going to play those as well, I promise. But anyway, let's get into some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
Anyway, let's talk about some things we've been doing. Do we want to talk about anything prior to the Superman discussion, or do we just want to jump right into the Superman?
I mean, I could talk Donkey Kong Bananza real quick.
Yeah, do it.
That just came out, last week? It's been a week now?
Yeah.
I've finished the main story.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's the game that the Switch 2 should have launched with.
Yeah.
It is one of those all-timer Nintendo good ones. Every couple of years they come out with a game that's so good that it reminds you why you play Nintendo games.
Sure.
And this is one of those.
I think Breath of the Wild was one of those.
Yeah.
It might have been between that and Mario Odyssey. I think those were the last two that were really
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, sure. I mean, I never finished it.
It expanded on Breath of the Wild enough that I think I had just as much fun with it.
Cool.
So.
Very cool. Everything is cool. Pauline is a good sidekick character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gameplay is fantastic. Punching feels good. The world designs are fun to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting those bananas feels good.
Does it go banana?
Oh, yeah. Every time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes. I love callbacks to Donkey Kong 64.
It surprised me a couple times with things.
Oh, really?
Which is fun, story beats.
It's kind of wild. I've heard it has a pretty decent story, which is weird to think because Donkey Kong's whole thing is, I like banana, get banana.
Get banana. Well, Pauline has wants and dreams.
Oh, sure, yeah. But no, that's really cool. It has light continuity with Mario Odyssey, right? But not like a huge amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
To some extent.
If I say what it is, it'll spoil the entire ending, so I'm not going to do that.
Don't talk about that. But have you tried the two-player mode?
No.
No? I was listening to another show the other day, and the guy said, oh, yeah, no, I tried the two-player mode with my wife, and she is trigger happy. So he goes, I don't actually know how to beat the first three bosses because she just spammed the yell button. And he said there was another part of the game where they were in a tunnel and she mashed it so hard they had to reset the game because they were incapable of moving past all the brick onomatopoeias that shoot out of her mouth. So yeah.
See, that's why I didn't do it because I knew it was gonna make the game trivial.
Yeah. It's almost like instead of Pauline being the little brother mode, like the second player mode, you should give Donkey Kong to the little brother and have Pauline be like, oh, you need help with this? Okay, let me be responsible and press this once or twice instead of just,
I've seen people say that the smashing everything gets boring. And
I can't see that.
It probably does if you do it wrong.
Okay.
I have a feeling these people are just breaking everything.
Sure, just because.
They
want to get down to to the point where they can't break it anymore just to see.
Yeah.
That seems lame.
Or maybe there's a secret in there and it's you can use the sonar clap to see things around you and guide you in the correct direction so you don't have to just smash everything.
They're not going to hide things from the sonar. It's a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
They want you to collect all the things. Did you get all, well, the requisite 777 bananas?
I have not gotten all that. I've gotten to, like, there's a very final, long, like, challenge road style thing at the end, and it is so hard. I have not finished it. It's
nice.
It's very long, and it makes you start all the way over when you die.
Oh man!
So it's extremely difficult, and I've not finished it.
Yeah,
and
that's rough.
It's one of those things where I think I'm gonna have to go back and find more bananas so I can boost my stats up a little more to make it easier.
Yeah, because it has a skill tree as well, right? Yeah.
Which makes finding stuff feel all that more rewarding. In Odyssey, you just find a moon, and now you've got one more moon. This, you find every 5 bananas you get a skill point.
Yeah.
So you get something out of it.
I like, I don't mind collectibles in games. I know it's gotten a bad rap because of Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64, we had to collect a metric ton.
Every character has a different color of banana, and only they can get that banana.
And there's 100 in each level that you have to get.
It's insane.
Plus blueprint parts and bananas and weapon upgrades and coins, and it's a mess. Although I've been playing a little bit of a ROM hack of it that puts automatic switch on the D-pad, so you don't have to keep running back to the switch barrel to switch between characters. You can just tap something, and it moves to the next one. So it cuts down on time.
Yeah.
Basically, if you run into something where you find a banana, but it's only for one of the Donkey Kongs, you can just, instead of running all the way back, you can just tap, tap, tap and get it, which is cool. No, but I love collectibles that actually have impact on games. Yeah. I've been messing around with Ocarina of Time, like updates and stuff as well, and there was one ROM hack that gave you extra abilities or powered up your hits a little more with each medallion you collected. So it's like, so you actually get something. You get a little more powerful each time you do the thing, instead of just saying, I beat the level. Here's the thing.
That would make sense for them to have actually done in the actual game.
Yeah, I've done some looking up some history and stuff into it, and that game was incredibly rushed. That was like the last 6 months of it, they basically retooled a lot of it. That's your deep dive Ocarina of Time, a game that's almost 30 years old. News for the week, which is also what I've been messing around with, just some playing games and stuff like that. But let's talk about Superman.
Yes,
let's talk about Superman. Like I said, we're going to keep this spoiler-Lite. So we're not going to get into like the ending of the movie or anything like that.
Well, honestly, the movie is so good.
Yeah.
That even if you were spoiled,
you would want to see it.
You still have a good time.
Yes.
You still have a good time.
Yes. That movie is amazing.
Yes. I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
It might be the best depiction of Superman on film. I mean, it's a close with Christopher Reeves, but I think modern day Superman, this is how you do it.
He has the heart of the Superman.
He does.
He cares about everyone. He wants to see the best in everyone. He believes the best in everyone.
He does. Yes. Oh, absolutely. And that is Superman.
Yeah.
I also like that he's been doing this for a couple of years, so people know him. It's not like he's just brand new onto the scene.
And we don't have to do a bunch of origin story stuff. We already
Although
know.
There's a tiny bit, but they don't like drill it home. It's like, okay, we set up, here's Jor-El and Laurel, his parents from Krypton. Here's Ma and Pa Kent from Earth. We already know them. They don't insult your intelligence.
Yeah.
I've said for a while, you don't need to see Uncle Ben get shot. You don't need to see the Martha Wayne's pearls hitting the ground in Crime Alley. You don't need backstories for characters that have been around for almost 100 years.
Boy, and Ma and Pa Kent, when they first showed up, I was a little concerned. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
These guys are cartoon characters.
Nope. I was all in. I was 100% in, because you want an older farming couple from Kansas. That's what they would be like. They wouldn't be Kevin Costner. They wouldn't be some movie star. Yeah. They would just be an old couple who don't know how to work technology, which trickled down into Clark Kent, because they were doing that interview at one point, and he couldn't figure out how to turn off the recorder multiple times, because technology is not his thing. It's not his thing.
But just from the sound, their voice.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh no, we're gonna do cartoon Hicks here, but no, they turned it like I was wrong. It was on me.
Yeah, no, they did. I mean, they had the Kansas accent, but like, no, they were perfectly cast, and I like that they just look like a real couple.
Yeah, real people,
they
real
look
Americans.
Like they. Oh, we'll get into that after the break, but no, I really liked all of the casting in the film. I don't think there was a single bad actor in the entire movie. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was amazing.
Yeah,
he was firing on all cylinders.
By far the best Lex in any film ever,
without a doubt. And I liked that he was, self-aware enough to go, yes, pettiness runs my entire life. That is everything that I am. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. The other thing I liked was they didn't rely on kryptonite too much in this. I don't think
there, but like,
well, the only kryptonite you see was synthetic, made by a guy.
Because they said like, yeah, kryptonite doesn't exist anymore. There isn't any of it left on the planet.
Right. So, no, I think it was fantastic. What'd you think of the Justice Gang?
All of them were great. I wish we spent more time with... And I understand it's a packed movie already, and I understand why it went the way it did. Mm-hmm. But I would have liked a little more Hawkgirl. I feel like she got the least characterization out of all of them.
She did, but I have a feeling they're eventually going to do a Justice League movie because you've got to do a Justice League movie. They set up the Hall of Justice, which was
Cincinnati's own
Hall of Justice, yes. And I have a feeling they're going to go into more of her stuff in those films because she's going to be on the Justice League.
She's going to show up on Peacemaker too.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Well, then we're going to get some of that there as well. I loved the cameo by Peacemaker.
Yeah.
On the
you knew he was going to show up.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
And he was just spouting nonsense. Basically. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. He is the epitome of a James Gunn character. He's a good guy and he's good at what he does, but he's a complete a-hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a scene that he's talking about. This happens early on in the movie, so I don't think it's really that much of a spoiler. Plus, the clips are online at this point. Talking about Superman's hypno glasses. It's like he puts on the glasses, and that's how people don't recognize him. And just from the context clues of Guy Gardner's an idiot, and Superman doesn't have much time for him particularly. That Guy was like, for years have been like, how do you do it? How do you do it? You don't wear a mask. How do you do it? How do people not know? And at some point he just goes, I don't know. I have my glasses make people think I'm someone else. And that locked into a guy's brain is like, yes, that is the answer.
That makes perfect sense.
That makes all the sense in the world. Mr. Terrific, deep cut character, maybe one of the best fight scenes in the movie.
Oh, his character was hilarious too and cool.
What if Lex Luthor were a good guy and competent?
Yeah.
That's it. Because they have the same, intellectual powers. They have the same amount of technology and access to things, but one's a good guy who is kind of he's got a bit of, he tries to hide the fact that he has a bit of an attitude
and an ego,
but he absolutely has an ego because he's the smartest guy on the planet.
It's more deserved in his case.
Yes.
Because,
absolutely. I loved the stuff with the T-spheres and being like, oh, yeah, no, I know how to do this. Yeah, no, I know how to do that. Boom, 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 boom. Lois was great.
She's an amazing Lois.
Yep. That's the actress from the was it the Marvelous Miss Maisel? Yeah, and she was perfect in the role.
Yep.
And I like that she used to be like a punk rock kid who grew up to be a hard-cutting journalist. I like the theme of, compassion and empathy is punk rock in a world where people are only out for themselves and want to hurt other people.
When the status quo is cruelty, kindness is sticking up for...
Yeah, kindness is the anti-establishment.
Yes.
And, and I loved the scene where they go back to the Kent family farm because something has happened. And Superman needs to, recharge. And just by the one shot of Lois looking around his room and looking at the posts, because his childhood bedroom has been left exactly the same since he moved out, and I think that's sweet as well. But she looks around the room and just sees everything he was into as a kid, and sees his parents, his Earth parents, and immediately gets it.
It puts it all together.
Because the whole a lot of the movie, she's with Clark Kent, she's with Superman, but she's kind of on the fence, doesn't really understand, doesn't really get it, and in that moment, she gets it. She gets where this guy is coming from. That's great. That's great.
Also, Clark's favorite band being that made up
pop punk band is like, oh, they're not punk. It's like, hey, they're pretty punk, No, that was awesome. Let's talk about Crypto.
Crypto was great.
Yes.
He's a little bit of everybody's dog. Like, everybody can see their dog in Crypto.
Yep.
I think the concept of what if Crypto wasn't a good dog?
He's a bad dog.
Yeah,
but
that's such a clever twist on it.
It is. And then
it's more fun.
And later in the movie you discover specifically why he is a bad dog.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that next week. That's maybe a little bit of a spoiler. But everything is great. I've never been a fan of Jimmy Olsen because he's just like in the comics.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. I mean, for the longest time he was a dorky teen that was kind of a hanger-on. He was like the Denny to Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. He's the little brother character.
Yeah, he's the little brother character. But they aged him up into adulthood in this, and he actually had a part to play in the film. It's funny that for some reason all of the ladies love him, like throughout the entire movie. Anytime they run into somebody, you see women in the background like giving him the eyes a little bit, and that's hilarious.
Big fan of Cat Grant.
You could say we're both. We're two big fans of Cat Grant. Yes, I think it's great that they brought in the wider Daily Planet cast.
Yeah, Steve Lombardi is always a funny character.
He is.
And he maintained that in this movie as well.
Yep. I like that they stuck with the current trend of Perry White being black, because this comic was started in the 30s. You didn't get a whole lot of representation, and Perry White is a very good character that you can do that with.
They've done that so many times at this point. I think it almost would be weirder if he wasn't.
I believe one of the more recent DC Universe reboots that just made that canon. That he's an older black guy who's kind of tough on his folks, but really cares.
And don't call him Chief.
Yes. I love this movie. I would give it like a 9.75 out of 10. I don't want very rarely will I say a movie is a perfect film. This is pretty darn close. There were two things, and these are extreme nitpicks, and I'm probably a little bit wrong on this. I loved Crypto. I think he was great in every scene that he was in. I just think they relied on him coming to save the day one too many times.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it that whenever Superman was in trouble, and Superman, he gets beat up a lot in this film, and I kind of think you need that.
Yeah, it makes him a more compelling character if he's struggling.
Listen, Superman's powers are the least interesting thing about Superman, and this movie gets it, whereas Man of Steel was like, no, the big, huge fights and the laser beams coming from the eyeballs, that's the most important thing. No.
It's not the powers that make Superman interesting. It's him clashing against society, trying to do the right thing with those powers.
Yes, exactly. But I liked that Crypto would come and help him out being a bad dog, or kind of help him out all the times, but just one less would have made it perfect, because I think they relied on it just a little bit too long. And the other one, you know what? This might be a spoiler-ish. The character that created the kryptonite in the scene with the kryptonite is wildly out of character for his character in the comics.
Yeah, isn't he a bad guy?
No. That he's a good guy, but In the comics, he has more of a Ben Grimm the Thing personality, larger than life, like, hey, I look like a freak, but whatever. In this movie, he is just a sad sack.
Yeah, he's a sad, but maybe he'll come around to it.
Maybe he'll come around. I was surprised that his wife and child were in this, because you don't see his wife was the kind of the impetus for him getting his abilities. He was, should we just say the character's name?
Yeah.
Metamorpho, the Element Man, a guy who looks
not the Elephant Man. That's
not the Elephant
guy.
Man, a different movie. But no, the Element Man. He looks like a like patchwork guy. He could change his body into any kind of element you can think of. The whole impetus behind his transformation initially was he was an Indiana Jones type. He was a treasure hunter, and he was dating this woman named Sapphire Stagg.
Wow, that's a name.
It is. Well, alliteration, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Very important.
But her father, Simon Stagg, a wealthy industrialist, didn't like it.
Stagg Enterprises?
Stagg Enterprises. Didn't like that. Didn't like him. Didn't like anyone, wanted his daughter basically for himself. So they sent him to Egypt to find the Orb of Ra, or the Staff of Ra, Orb of Ra, I think. And Stagg knew that anyone who's ever tried to collect it has died, like sent him into a death trap, but the Orb of Ra granted these abilities but permanently mutated his body into the way it is. But he remained like adventure man, a guy with a heart of gold, and in this movie he is just sad.
Yeah.
But his wife, going back to it, his wife in that one quick shot is a dead ringer for the comic version of Sapphire Stagg. The platinum blonde hair and wearing blue, because her whole thing was, blue like sapphires.
Sapphire, yeah.
Yeah, those were the two minor complaints. And they, like I said, they are the most minor complaints. But otherwise, excellent. Fantastic.
Modern classic. Modern day classic.
It makes me really excited to see the next projects coming from this version of DC.
Yeah.
DC and Warner.
If they let them stay the course and keep doing what they're doing,
Yes.
and it sounds like they will, because this movie has done very well.
Yes. So far, it was a home run with Peacemaker. It was a ground triple with the Suicide Squad. And they hit a home run with Superman. So everything else...
Creature Commandos is very good.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about Creature Commandos.
More people should watch Creature Commandos.
Yes, and it is tied directly to the rest of the... It's not like a separate thing.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo, the guy who played Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos, is in this as Rick Flag Sr.
Yeah.
Same guy, looks exactly the same. Also, the people that they cast to voice characters in Creature Commandos just happen to also look pretty close to their animated counterparts.
And the country, Barovia?
Barovia and Jahanpur.
That's
Yes.
part of Creature Commandos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if you liked Superman, you should watch
It's a good
Creature
addition.
Commandos.
Yes.
Because it
Oh, yeah.
is just as good.
Just as good.
In a different way.
In a
but it is
completely
good,
different
yeah.
way, but it's very, very good. So their next projects, they have the Lanterns miniseries coming out. And while it's going to be following new recruit Jon Stewart and veteran Hal Jordan, Nathan Fillion said that, oh yeah, I show up for a couple episodes and it's the most F-bombs I've ever dropped in a single project ever. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
They're working on that. The Supergirl movie's coming out, which I'm really excited for. And there are options on the table.
Go
ahead.
Never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, it's going to spoil it.
Oh yeah. No, we'll talk about that next week. Yes, but the projects that are currently on the table, they're looking at because of the success of Superman, a Jimmy Olsen miniseries, which in the comics, Jimmy Olsen has accidentally gotten and lost about 1 billion superpowers. He was Giant Turtle Boy at one point, for crying out loud, back in the 60s when things were weird. But a Jimmy Olsen miniseries and a Mr. Terrific miniseries.
Mr. Terrific just deserves a movie.
He does. And the Superman movie sets up the potential for about 5 or 6 other projects.
Yeah. I've heard they're fast-tracking Wonder Woman now.
They
too.
are, and there have been rumors about a casting. There hasn't been anything official. That's why we're not talking about it this week. But there have been a couple actresses that have been tentatively tied, and they're not huge celebrities. They're, I like that they're going with not huge celebrities.
Yeah.
For the casting.
Well, they can do then they can do TV stuff too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like half the people in the Avengers aren't going to show up on the Disney Plus miniseries.
No, just Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. And even then, he doesn't want to do it anymore because they don't want to pay him enough.
Well, yeah. Plus, he almost had his legs ripped off. But,
Yeah.
Which I can understand.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But yeah, no, you can get these people to come in and do whatever. But no, they set up for a Justice League movie eventually, of course. So the engineer, the lady that was like her body was entirely nanites, nanobots, is a character from Stormwatch, the Wildstorm kind of half imprint that was absorbed into DC about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And they mentioned that the team that she's on is called Planet Watch. It would be very easy for them to bring in Apollo and Midnighter and some of the other characters from that, lesser knowns, and have a movie or a show about the clandestine Black Ops version of the Justice League, basically.
And I'm glad that James Gunn seems willing to do different things with the character. The Clayface movie that's coming out, he said, is a full-on horror movie.
It's a horror movie, yes, and I can't wait for it.
He officially said that he doesn't want to do the same thing over and over again so people don't get bored, which sounds like a direct stab at Marvel.
Yep, sure does. We can go on with this forever, and next week we probably will, because Josh also told us that he had...
Yeah, he has
seen it
in
the last couple days. So we all have seen it, and we can all talk about it.
Had the same reaction that we did.
Yeah, so get ready for a full spoiler 100% talk about everything next week. But I think we're going to switch gears and talk about some news. Okay, so let's talk about some news. Cody, what do we want to start with?
Well, unfortunately, there's been a lot of celebrity deaths recently that we should probably cover.
Yeah, we should probably go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off so we can move on to happier things. But yes, there's been a lot here in the last week and a half. We'll start with the smaller one. Was it Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was on The Cosby Show, best known as Theo from The Cosby Show. He passed.
Wrong person from The Cosby Show died.
Well, yep. But no, and when I first heard it, I didn't go into it. I thought it was, another former child celebrity that has gone down the wrong path. You know what I mean? Because that's happened so many times.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, no. He and his daughter were out in the ocean swimming and surfing and stuff, and got us some trouble, and was able to save his daughter, gave his life to save his daughter from drowning in the ocean.
Jeez.
So, it's a sad one, but it's also like... did the right thing.
A hero story.
A hero's death. You don't like seeing death, but that is...
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one that hit me more than I thought it would was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. I think they kind of knew it was coming.
Well, he's had Parkinson's for like the last 20 years.
And he just did that final performance.
They knew it was coming.
That was very much, this is my living funeral situation.
Yes. It was a real bummer. And so I've been going back and listening to a bunch of Black Sabbath and Ozzy music.
It's good stuff. It's
great good stuff. I've really been kind of digging into their second album, Paranoid.
Yeah.
That it has like 3 or 4 great hits, but boy, there are a couple songs that suck on ice.
Oh no!
On that album, there is one that is a 2-minute jazz fusion, just instrumental.
I would not have expected that.
There's one that is just bongo drums and Ozzy in the background. There's this mumbling things that you can barely hear in the background. It's awful. But I recently discovered one of his more recent songs back in 2020. He did an album, and it was the song's called Ordinary Man, and it's him and Elton John oddly enough.
Huh.
And the song is about how, I've done this, I've done that. This has happened in my life. That's happened in my life. I don't want to die an ordinary man. And I think that's a really good song, in retrospect with what's happened now. It's like a fantastic song.
I feel like they're just two different, the same kind of character with different aesthetics.
Yes. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, very much. It's the aesthetic that Kiss wanted to have, but was always a little hokey for it. Black Sabbath and Ozzy's stuff is what Gene Simmons wanted and couldn't do. He was the Kmart brand.
Yeah.
But no, that one's really sad. Another kind of more minor one than not, although this one is pretty sad for me as well. Chuck Mangione passed away a couple of days ago. Known almost exclusively for his flugelhorn song "Feels So Good," and those couple of episodes that he's on King of the Hill. Maybe you can only play "Feel So Good" because it does feel so good to be alive. yeah. That's one of my the Megalomart explosion. That's one of my favorite episodes, 2-parters on King of the Hill. But no, that's really sad. And I did pull up. I own a Chuck Mangione album, so I popped it on the old record player and listened to it. And I mean, it's definitely a different style of music, but it's smooth. It's good.
It's smooth.
I dig it.
Goes down smooth.
It goes down smooth. And there was one other, wasn't there? It just happened like yesterday or something, wasn't it?
Are you doing a bit?
No, there was one other. And I'm trying to
Hulk
think.
Hogan.
Oh, God. Well, it's a good thing I forgot.
Yeah, I thought you were doing a bit.
No, I completely blanked on it. No, Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, Terry Bollea, had a heart attack. The roids finally caught up with them, it seems.
I'm going to take the if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all stance on this particular person.
That's absolutely fair. I will kind of do a little thing here. There's no denying that he almost single-handedly brought professional wrestling into the mainstream. And, any professional wrestling that you've seen in the last 30-ish years, you got to hand it to the guy. They built him up into a larger-than-life character. And if it weren't for Hogan, and by extension, the McMahon stuff, which I wish... I'm not going to say that live on air.
Another person that maybe don't say anything
that exists. But wrestling would be relegated to small stadiums, nothing on TV, action figures would not exist. I really don't think wrestling would be where it is today and has been forever if not for Hulk Hogan. He was a garbage human. He was not a good dude. He had some, relatively recently, we've learned a lot about his political stances, which, hey, everyone has their own things, but he's had some pretty rough stuff, objectively.
He's had some
opinions about people that is not right.
He's had some things caught on a hot mic a couple times.
More than a couple times.
Yeah.
Back when he was wrestling in the 80s and 90s, this is one that really grinds my gears a bunch. So wrestlers don't have health insurance, at least I don't know if they do now. They might, but at the time they did not. They couldn't bargain, and everybody was pay checks were arbitrarily just given out based on who Vince liked. And there was a movement in the early 90s to unionize the wrestlers.
Sounds like bad talent management, which is something we'll get into later on the show.
Which we'll get into, yes. Yeah, almost immediately after this one. But, and Hulk Hogan ratted out every single wrestler to McMahon who talked about possibly setting up a union so McMahon would fire them. He's a scab and a union breaker is what he is.
And
that that grinds my gears.
Wrestling is inherently extremely dangerous to your health and safety.
Oh, sure. Even before they discovered the effects of CTE and brain damage from getting smacked in the head with a folding chair over and over and over.
Falling off the top of the steel cage.
Yeah. Hulk was also an extreme liar. One of my favorite ones is one where he claimed he wrestled 400 days in a year because of the time change when you're flying to Japan, brother.
There's no way you can math that out.
No, he's absolutely wrong because, one, that's not how time works. And two, any time that you allegedly gain when you're flying to Japan, from the U.S. to Japan, you lose when you fly back to America. You don't lose time. You don't gain time. It's just time, you know? But no, he did that. He lied about how the movie The Wrestler, Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler, he claims that he was approached to be the lead in The Wrestler before they, and he had to turn it down, brother, so that Mickey Rourke could get his sloppy seconds. That's a huge lie.
Why would they come to him first when they got a much better actor?
Because it's a movie with actors.
Yeah.
And not
stunt casted wrestling yuck-em-ups.
He claims that he was the last person to see Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Twister, alive. That was a lie. It was his family. No, and you can go online. I think there are entire web pages and like accounts and stuff devoted to Hulk's lies over the years, and they're mostly hilarious because of how outlandish and stupid they are. And I don't know whether it was the brain damage or the ego or both that was causing it, but yeah. Anyway, I just hope that the Iron Sheik and Andre the Giant is suplexing him continuously, his ghost
in the
afterlife. Yeah. But I do, again, I have to give him his props. He did revolutionize professional wrestling. You can't not say that, you know?
Nothing is black and white. Everything is shades of gray.
Shades of gray. His is pretty black, which he hates.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to another bit of management mishandlings.
VTubers.
VTubers, you love them, you have them, they're just like us.
I guess I have to explain what they are.
Sure.
I feel like I've done it 3 or 4 times on the show. But VTubers are when you do live stream, but instead of having video of your face, you have a live animated character that is tracked by your movements.
Yes.
And this is a cottage industry.
It's gotten huge over the years.
A huge
$1
billion industry.
Well, shoot, I even tried it there for a while before I upgraded my PC and I was streaming on my personal Twitch account. I had a little PNG guy that it didn't track every movement, but when I was speaking, his mouth would open. I was technically I guess that's a PNG tuber.
Yeah, but
it's VTubing.
That's splitting hairs.
Splitting hairs. Yes. Anyway, let's talk about VTubers now that we've set it up.
So there is like different talent agencies for these VTubers, just like there's different talent agencies for streamers or anything.
Anything, yeah.
The biggest English speaking one is called Vshojo, and it has most of the big talents that you would know if you knew VTubers. Ironmouse, who is the biggest one.
She's the biggest one.
Basically the biggest VTuber that there is.
That there ever has been, yes.
She wouldn't agree.
No,
but
no.
In her head, she's still doing her little show for 30 people.
Yeah, and that's what makes her show so great.
Yeah. She was part of Vshojo. A bunch of other... I don't want to list all the talents, but there was...
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
There's a good, 8 or 9 VTubers in this group that were some of the more famous ones.
Yep.
Turns out they were being... Not mismanaged. That's not the right word. They weren't being paid.
No, they just flat weren't being paid.
They flat out weren't being paid by their management company. And the management company also... This is, I guess we should say allegedly.
Allegedly, because nothing has come out officially yet, but this is all allegedly, but it's pretty true.
Yeah. Also, Ironmouse does a lot of charity work because she has an immune disease.
She basically lives in her room and that's it.
Yeah.
In her bedroom because her immune system is so screwed up. She could take one step outside and
get sick.
Get 5 illnesses.
Yeah, and not be able to fight them off like you or I.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing that makes her really fascinating and really good as a VTuber because she started it just to interact with people.
Yeah, just to make friends. She just wanted to make friends.
Yeah. And turned it into a whole thing that she's still making friends.
And now she has thousands of friends that watch her every time she goes live.
That's right. But she does a lot. Like you said, she does a lot of charity work.
Yeah, for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, she's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for them over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns out that Vshojo was doing her payments because she likes to have her anonymity. It's very important to her.
Oh, sure.
So they were kind of in charge of her finances. They took that $5,000 that she raised in one of her subathons and just kind of used it for their own operations.
She pulled the completionist.
Yeah,
they pulled
Vshojo pulled a completionist. Well, except for it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because they knew exactly where it was supposed to go.
And they didn't do it. So Ironmouse left Vshojo, which was a huge deal for the VTuber community.
Yeah.
And one by one, the rest of the people in Vshojo...
Yeah, were like, hey, I wasn't getting paid either. Oh, neither was I.
Yeah, and they all left.
Yeah.
And now Vshojo doesn't exist or barely exists.
It's officially dissolved, I guess,
Yeah.
but also there hasn't been any proper filings or bankruptcies or any sort of legal movement has not happened yet.
Oh, it's coming though.
Yeah.
It's coming.
The owner should probably go to prison for fraud and embezzlement.
That is the textbook definition of embezzlement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like one of the talents, Kason, she hadn't been paid since September.
It's been almost a year.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess not to... Vshojo screwed up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you check to see if you've gotten payments before a year has gone past?
Well, I think she knew she wasn't getting paid.
But wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
They kept kicking the can down the road. Okay, that makes much more sense.
Yeah,
okay.
They knew they weren't getting paid, but they couldn't get a straight answer out of management as to why.
And weren't able to break contract and stuff like that. And now, because of all this litigation, they're all like, okay, we don't care. We're breaking our contract. We're getting out because anything is better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good on them. I'm glad they're, and Ironmouse set up a Ko-fi link or something like that.
Tiltify.
Tiltify, that's it.
Specifically for charity. When you raise money through Tiltify, it goes straight to the charity.
There's no middleman. Yeah.
And she's raised over $1 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
So any concerns that she was going to lose viewers because of being part of this collective? Completely unfounded.
Yeah, everybody has really come together in support of the talents, which is great. It's how you should react.
It's how it should be done.
It is terrible that this happened, and it sucks for everyone involved, but I think more VTubers being independent is probably better in the long run.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where it's, in the long run, this is going to be a positive for everyone involved.
I don't think they need these talent agencies. They're just leeching off of these talents.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand the desire to have something like this set up because, there's a lot of business stuff and you're just, you're kind of doing this all by yourself and, you don't know how to set up. You
don't want to be dealing with how to get sponsorships when your job is to make pee-pee poo-poo joke while you play video game on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand the need for it, but I don't know, man. This one sucks.
Yeah.
This one sucks. All right, so before we wrap up, we do have a couple of listeners submitted comments and corrections and voicemails.
User submitted content.
Woo! All right. So yeah, let's do our corrections first. So
We don't have to make it because you did it for us. My mom texted me after we did the show last time, and we're talking about Land of the Lost.
Yes.
And we said that it was from the 60s, and I said that she watched it. Mm-hmm. She wanted me to let everyone know it was from the 70s, and she is not that old.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Which fair.
Good correction. Fair. Good correction. Good correction.
It's my bad because for some reason the 60s and the 70s kind of smashed together in my head.
It's all kind of
same decade.
mixed. Yeah, late 60s, early 70s. It all kind of jumbles together. So we also had a user-submitted comment a couple of weeks ago. Again, I don't think you were here for this one. Josh and I were talking about how he had watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and they tease Amy Rose at the end of it. And we asked, okay, what celebrity stunt casting would you cast as the voice of Amy Rose? Because it's gonna be someone famous. And super listener Ben, thank you very much, Ben, sent in his suggestion was Ashley Johnson from Critical Role, and she's an actress as well.
Does she do a voice for Last of Us?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. She's one of the last ones in The Last of Us, I think. But yeah, I mean that's fine. I would.
She's one of the last of them.
She is. Yes, exactly. She is one of the last of them. But it's a good joke. But yeah, I think that would be good casting.
That
I mean, it's
good.
not exactly the biggest stunt casting
it's
out
not
there.
Keanu Reeves is Shadow the Hedgehog.
It's not Idris Elba.
Yeah.
But they cast the original Tails as Tails.
It's so wild that they did that.
Well, I think no one else could do the voice.
Nobody else wanted to be Tails because he's lame.
Well, that's a fair assessment, but also I just think no one else could do the voice as well as the original
he's gotta
actress.
Sound like a little kid, and there's no little kid. They're not going to stunt cast the Rizzler.
I mean, they could have stunt cast Timothy Chalamet. The eternal go-to, but no, I think that's cool. But no, I think she would be fine. I was kind of thinking it was going to be someone like Scarlett Johansson, because that is a stunt cast, and she could record all of her lines in an afternoon.
Or they could grab some random pop star.
Pop star would be good.
Like how Smurfette is Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh.
Or no, it's the other way around. Rihanna is Smurfette.
That's right. Yes. You know what? Triumphant return to the big screen. Katy Perry as Amy Rose. No, I really thought it should be Kristen Shaw, or what's her name from Gravity Falls, and
that's
Kristen Shaw.
Kristen Shaw.
Yeah, I think that would be a great. She's snarky, and she does enough comedy acting and improv that she could bounce stuff off of Ben Schwartz.
Yeah,
there would be a good back and forth between those two.
That would be they wouldn't do something that good of an
idea. It would be too on the nose, but that would be my choice, honestly. Plus, she also has kind of a smaller, squeakier kind of voice.
Yeah,
higher pitched. I think it would work perfect. But no, thank you, Ben. I appreciate the message, and I appreciate you listening. And finally, we have a voicemail from 2 months ago, because we are on the ball with all of this. And
it's been a touch and go month for the show.
It's been a rough year for the show, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and fire up the old voicemail machine. And
you need a pull cord.
It's a gas-powered one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hi guys, long-time caller, first-time listener. Hey, as a rule, I'm not a fan of sequels. My only exceptions are anything Star Wars, Rocky II, and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, The Struggle Continues. So, last week the topic of Adam Sandler sequels was bandied about. How about Wedding Singer 2? Take Robbie and Julia from the 80s into the 90s. Music changes, life changes. And what about Sammy and Holly? Not to mention Glenn. That's all I got, guys. Time for my pills. Star-Lord out.
His delivery on time for my pills was so good.
Yes, excellent. Excellent job there. Well, first time, long time. Appreciate your call. So yeah, I think this was another show that you guys were
I want to cast him
off.
in the Sonic movie.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Oh, who
Fang
would you?
The Sniper.
Fang the Sniper. There we go. I like it. I was going to say, not Big the Cat, because that's not quite the
No.
voice. Who is one of the other joke characters?
Oh, Being the Dynamite.
Being the Dynamite. Is that the polar bear?
No, that's the duck.
Okay.
There's Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Squirrel.
There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, but no, I think this was another show that you weren't on at the time.
No.
We were talking about...
Also, I've never seen The Wedding Singer, so I'm useless in this situation.
You're missing out because that is a fantastic movie. No, so we were talking about Happy Gilmore 2, and Josh and I were discussing, what other...
Which is so close to coming out. It's breathing down the backs of our necks as we speak.
Yes, whether we want it to or not.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't be that harsh. I liked Happy Gilmore. I think the sequel might be fine.
If I am bored enough on a weekend, I will probably watch Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, I'll go to it. I mean, I have to stay awake on Mondays until the wee hours of the morning, so I could just pop it on then.
I mean, I watched Hubie Halloween. I can watch Happy Gilmore 2.
That's fair. But no, that's an excellent suggestion for Adam Sandler's sequels. Because I think there is more story there. I really do. The Wedding Singer is, to give you the highlight, the elevator pitch, there's a guy who was a failed musician who is now a wedding singer. And he falls in love with a girl that is getting married to a real D-bag. And it's all set in the 80s, and there's a killer soundtrack behind it. Like a lot of Adam Sandler's early movies. That's actually one of the things I really appreciate about his movies. They always, sometimes the comedy doesn't hit. I hate Click, but they all have excellent soundtracks.
Oh, Click was so bad.
It's too maudlin. It's too maudlin. It's they could have dialed back the sad stuff just a hair and it would have been fine. But yeah, it was too much. Anyway, yeah, I think moving it to the 90s would be a perfect way to go with it because, a lot of his was like not quite hair metal, but like, 80s pop hits and stuff like that. And moving into a generation where it's grunge.
Well, the 90s is the 80s of today.
Yeah.
There's a commercial for, is it Capri Sun?
I think so, maybe.
That brings back all this 90s stuff and makes me feel like an absolutely ancient old man.
A lot of that's been happening lately, huh?
Yeah.
It's almost like
we are old.
It's almost like we're all pushing 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's more of a story to tell in the Wedding Singer. It's weird to say because I didn't like it as a kid, but I think they could do a second Little Nicky at this point.
I know I've seen it. I've probably seen it more than once. I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I think it was open-ended enough that they could do another one.
I remember two things.
Yeah.
Popeye's chicken is awesome.
Is awesome.
Because it is.
Yeah, sure.
And there was the guy that had boobs on his head.
Yeah. Those are two of the big ones. No, but I think that one could be done. They could tack an unnecessary sequel onto it. They can't do Click. They can't do
Chuck and Larry. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
They couldn't do Chuck and Larry. I think there's a case to be made. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Big Daddy 2?
Yeah, Big Daddy 2 might be, but I'm thinking of just the absolute dog worst Adam Sandler film, the one where he also plays his twin sister.
Oh, yeah.
They could do another one of those.
Is it Jack and Jill?
Jack and Jill. Do they need to? Do I want them to? Absolutely not.
50 more first dates.
Oh, that would be sad, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's been 30 years, and she still wakes up every day like it's the first day. That would be so sad. So no, I don't want that. But yeah, Wedding Singer's a good choice, I think. You can't do Billy Madison again. What is he going to have to do? Go to school again? He has to repeat college? So what?
Yeah.
Adults take college classes all the time. That's not a big deal.
His kid has to go back to wait.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, well, again, thank you.
He has to teach school.
He has to teach every grade from kindergarten to 12th grade, and That's a terrible plot, and you know they would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's writing it down. An executive that is listening is writing it down.
You know what?
Right now.
As long as Netflix is willing to give him money, he will crank out as many unnecessary sequels to things that he can think of. And I hate to be cynical, but it's the truth.
I think they're doing a sequel to Hubie Halloween.
They probably are. Hey, it's easy for him. He just does his voice from SNL. Scooby-Doo voice.
And then they hang out in Salem for a couple weeks.
A couple weeks.
And then they got a movie.
And he brings all of his celebrity friends in so they can have a nice vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, get Kevin James, get Chris Rock, get Ron Schneider. Ohio's own Rob Schneider.
Oh, I didn't know he was from here. Gross.
Columbus. And his daughter is from here as well. The singer. The one that had a couple of hits and then kind of dropped off.
Rob Schneider can't live off his Chip Chilla money alone.
No, he's got to be the you can do it guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, again, thank you, long time, first time. We're looking forward to your next voicemail. Always a pleasure. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can check out all of our social media links over at links.nerdoverload.com. That's our Facebook, Instagram, Twitch,
all of it.
All that stuff.
All of it. You can email the show, staff@nerdoverload.com. If you have any comments about the show, answer any questions, want to get on the show, we'll read it.
You can even leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show just like we did today.
It took a while, but we'll be on top of it from here on out.
The number to do that's 412-345-1413.
You can find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And finally, I'd like to thank Parker helping us out finding news for the show, and David Pencil for our intro and outro. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back, hopefully, next week.
Pizza out.
Yeah, all right.